All right, let's jump right in. The world of AI is moving at a ridiculous pace, right? If you blink, you feel like you're gonna miss the next huge breakthrough. So what we're gonna do today is cut through all that noise. We're gonna focus on the three massive shifts that are really shaping our future in 2025.
I mean, it's easy to feel a little overwhelmed, isn't it? Every single day, boom, a new model, a new announcement, another headline. It's a lot. But what's really going on underneath all that? Beyond just the latest chatbot feature, what's the big picture?
Because trust me, what's happening right now, it's so much bigger than just getting a little better at writing an email or, coming up with a clever tweet.
What we're really seeing is this massive, monumental pivot. We're moving away from models that just, predict the next word in a sentence. Now, we're talking about models that can actually think. They can reason, they can plan, and they can solve some seriously complex problems.
And you gotta understand, this isn't just a tech race, it's part of a much bigger battle. I'm talking a philosophical, a commercial, a full-on conflict over who is gonna control the absolute core technology of our future. The stakes couldn't be higher. So that's what we're here to do. We're gonna break it all down. For 2025, the entire world of AI is being completely reshaped by these three huge shifts. And if you wanna understand what's coming next, you need to understand these. All right, shift number one, the quest for reasoning. Think of it like this. For a long time, AI was basically a super sophisticated pattern matcher, a parrot but with the entire internet as its vocabulary. Now, it's evolving into a genuine problem solver. It's not just about spitting out text anymore, it's about generating actual logic. And the secret sauce behind this whole shift? It's a technique called chain of thought reasoning. It's actually pretty cool. Instead of just jumping straight to an answer, the AI is now trained to think it through, step by step, just like you or I would. It literally shows its work, which is a huge deal. So here's what that looks like in practice. First, the AI takes the problem and just breaks it down into smaller pieces. Then it actually formulates a step-by-step plan. After that, it executes each step one by one very logically. And only at the very end does it pull everything together for the final answer. The result? Well, it's not just way more accurate. You can actually see how it got there. It's so much more transparent. And make no mistake, this isn't some tiny niche thing happening in a lab somewhere. We're talking about the biggest players in the game. Everyone is laser focused on this. You've got entire families of models, like OpenAI's whole O series or Google's latest Gemini, being built from the ground up specifically for these kinds of heavy-duty reasoning tasks.
And just look at how incredibly tight this race is. I mean, wow. On these ridiculously hard reasoning tests, the kind of stuff that stumps PhDs, the top models are separated by fractions of a percentage point. We're talking decimal places. This right here is the new frontier of AI, and the competition is absolutely fierce.
Okay, so it makes sense, right? As these AI models get smarter and better at reasoning, they need better information to reason about. And that leads us straight into our second massive shift. AI is getting senses. It's finally breaking out of the text box and becoming what we call multimodal. So what does multimodal actually mean? It means the AI can now understand, process, and even create content across all these different formats. We're talking text, images, audio, video, often all at the same time. So it's not just reading anymore. Now it's seeing, it's hearing, and this is the key part. It's understanding how all those pieces connect. You probably saw this with OpenAI's big announcement for GPT-4o. The O stands for Omni, and it just captures this shift perfectly. These new models are being built from the ground up to be omnimodal. The whole point is for them to interact with the world in the same rich, multisensory way that we humans do. Want a number that really drives this point home? 232 milliseconds. That's it. That is how fast GPT-4o can respond to you when you're talking to it. For perspective, that's pretty much the same speed as a real human conversation. That awkward lag, it's gone. And that makes the whole interaction feel unbelievably natural. Okay, so let's put this together. You have an AI that can reason logically, and it can see and hear the world around it. Suddenly, this technology becomes incredibly powerful. And of course, that raises the stakes. Which brings us to our third and final shift. And this one is less about the tech itself and more about the philosophy, and frankly, the control, the battle between open and closed models. So let's break down the trade-offs here. On one side, you've got the proprietary or closed models. These guys usually give you that top-of-the-line performance right out of the box, but you're tied to the vendor, you're on their platform. On the other side, you've got open source. This gives you total control. You can customize it however you want. You keep your data private, but you're on the hook for all the heavy lifting. You've got to manage the infrastructure yourself. And the battle lines couldn't be clearer. In the closed corner, you have the heavyweights: OpenAI, Anthropic, Google. And in the open source corner, you've got this really powerful alliance: Meta, Mistral, and a bunch of others who are just dropping these incredibly powerful models that anyone can download and build on top of. But here's a reality check. When you hear free and open source, don't think it means zero cost. This number, over $500,000, that's our rough estimate of what it costs a business per year to run their own open source AI app at a decent scale. Sure, the model itself might be free to download, but the top-tier engineers, the expensive hardware, the constant maintenance, yeah, that's definitely not free. So what's the big takeaway from all this? What's the real-world impact? Well, it's pretty simple. AI is getting a job. It's moving beyond being just a simple tool you use, and it's becoming an active teammate, one that can actually handle complex, multi-step tasks all on its own. And the pace of this change, it is just staggering. Think about it. Back in 2018, the huge breakthrough was just getting an AI to understand language. Just a couple of years later, in 2020, it was generating text that felt human. And now, in 2025, we're entering what everyone's calling the Agentic Era. This is where AI doesn't just understand or write, it actually takes action. And listen, this isn't science fiction. This is happening right now. In software development, you've got this cool trend called vibe coding, where a developer just describes the vibe of what they want, and an AI assistant like Copilot actually writes the code. In law firms, AI agents are managing contracts. In finance, they're analyzing dense earnings reports. This isn't what's coming. This is what's here, today. So let's bring it all home. You've got this quest for reasoning, you have AI developing senses, and you have this huge battle between open and closed platforms. All three of these massive shifts are coming together at the exact same time, and they're ushering in a brand new era for AI, the Agentic Era. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This isn't just some buzzword I'm throwing around. Look at how Google is literally framing its newest models. The Agentic Era is the official term for this transition. It's the moment AI stops being a passive tool that just waits for your command and becomes an active assistant, one that can take initiative and get things done for you. And that really leaves us all with a pretty crucial question to think about. As AI stops being just a tool and starts becoming a true agent, you have to ask yourself, what tasks, both in your job and in your personal life, are you actually ready to hand over?